Welcome back!
We made it! Now, that does mark the end of the special program, but we know that was a lot of information. It feels kind of impossible to take it all in at once, and I doubt I'm alone in feeling a bit overwhelmed.
Yeah, the special program team thought that might be the case. So, that brings us to our second job here today. In this segment, we'll go over the main takeaways from today's special program, so travelers have a quick and concise overview of what to expect in version Luna 1.
All right, I'm ready to summarize.
Okay, let's start with Notcry itself.
Right. So, like the devs mentioned, Notcry lies on the edge of Teyvat and is more susceptible to abyssal invasion because of it. In fact, the whole region was once a wasteland because of these clashes with the Abyss. But the merchants of Notcry chose to rebuild from the ruins, and that is how Nasha Town came to be, which should be the first place travelers end up after venturing into Notcry. And just like we talked about at the beginning of the program, the moon is a major aspect of the Song of the Welkin Moon as a whole. Under the influence of the moonlight, Notcry is filled with an ancient kind of elemental energy known as Kuvaki.
Yeah, and it looks like this power is indispensable to almost every facet of life in Notcry.
That's right, and some people can even wield Kuvaki for themselves.
These characters have moon wheels, which are different from Vision's because their power comes from Teyvat's 3 moons.
Pretty cool.
And, with the power of Kuvaki, certain Notcry characters can trigger unique lunar reactions.
Exactly. Enefa introduced Lunar Charged in version 5.8, and Lauma will introduce another new reaction, Lunar Bloom.
That's right. Lauma is the moon chanter of the Frost Moon Scions, which does make her a very important figure in the tribe. She's the one her people look to for leadership and guidance. As for her abilities, she can communicate with animals and transform into a deer. Plus, in combat, her Dendro Moon Wheel allows her to convert bloom reactions into lunar bloom reactions. Her elemental skill can decrease enemies' Dendro and Hydro resistance. Holding her skill consumes Verdant Dew, which is created when team members trigger lunar bloom reactions, and grants her stacks of Moonsong. Then, with her elemental burst, Lauma consumes her stacks of Moonsong to increase bloom reaction damage.
Sounds like she's a great support for Lunar Bloom teams. Next, let's take a quick look at Flint's. In terms of first impressions, Flint's comes off as a polite, dignified Lightkeeper with an almost aristocratic air to him. Of course, as a member of the Lightkeepers, Flint's fights for the safety of Notcry, using the ancient power of his lantern to fend off the wild hunt. In battle, Flint's elemental skill infuses his normal attacks with electro damage that cannot be overridden. Casting his skill again will trigger a special elemental burst that deals lunar charged damage to enemies. And without needing to satisfy any conditions, his normal elemental burst can directly deal lunar charged damage to opponents.
Which does make him a strong addition to lunar charged teams.
Let's go!
Alright, let's move on to the last character coming in the new version.
Aino, from the Clink Clank Krumkaki craft shop, right?
Yup, Aino is Enefa's creator and the owner of the workshop. She's also a genius inventor. The massive cannon in Nasha Town used to fend off the wild hunt is her creation.
Cool.
But even geniuses have things they're not so good at. And for Aino, well, that's housework. So Enefa takes care of that for her.
That's nice.
In battle, Aino's elemental skill allows her to use a gadget to launch forward, dealing AoE hydro damage to surrounding enemies. Then, with her elemental burst, Aino summons a water-spraying mechanism that periodically deals hydro damage to opponents.
Whoa, you can't forget the most important thing.
All right. Near the beginning of the first act of the Archon quest, A Dance of Snowy Tides and Hoarfrost Groves, travelers will have the chance to meet Aino and invite her to their parties.
In other words, travelers can get her for free.
That's right. And speaking of, let's talk about how the dev team has revamped these quests with the goal of adding richer character development into the core narrative.
Cool.
This means, in the upcoming Archon quests, travelers can look forward to more interactions with the 3 characters we just mentioned and the ones we'll meet in the future, allowing us to get to know them on a much deeper level. Version Luna 1 is also bringing new content to the open world. Travelers will have the chance to help the new characters, Flint's, Lauma, and Aino, build meeting points in Notcry. At these meeting points, you can chat with characters whenever you feel like it, and learn more about their lives by progressing certain events.
Yeah, it's kind of like Traveler's Tales, but a little more fleshed out. Now, the Damselette is another highly anticipated character, I'm sure many travelers have already picked up on her close connection to the moon. And travelers will get to meet her very soon. After venturing to Hisi Island in the upcoming Archon quest, travelers will encounter the Damselette at a special time and place. In this place, you can chat with her, accept commissions from her, and receive her gifts.
Definitely something to look forward to. Now, let's give a quick refresher on the upcoming event wishes. In the first half of version Luna 1, travelers can look forward to event wishes from Lauma and Nahida, as well as a Sumeru-centered chronicled wish banner.
And in the second half of the version, we'll have event wishes for Flintz and Yelan.
In addition, Aino will receive a drop rate boost on the second half banners, so don't miss out if you're interested. Alright, now let's talk anniversary rewards and system optimizations.
Starting with anniversary rewards. Travelers will receive 1,600 Primo Gems in their in-game mailbox, along with a new robot kitten pet, aww, an in-game two-person lounge, and a variety of enhancement materials. There will also be a login event where travelers can earn a total of 10 intertwined fates, along with other rewards like resin and mora by logging in for 7 days in a row.
And, of course, travelers will get to choose a standard 5-star character of their choice. And this year, Yume Mizuki will be available as one of the options. There's also the free Aino obtainable through the Archon quest. So, that's 2 new characters travelers can add to their roster for free.
And finally, initial top-up bonuses will be reset after the version update.
Now, let's check out the optimizations coming in the new version.
Let's do it.
First up are a few optimizations that should improve the adventuring experience. Adventure XP gained from exploration is being significantly increased. For example, collecting oculi will now grant adventure XP. More tips will be added to characters' trial run stages.
Yeah, and there are also a few optimizations geared towards veteran travelers. Starting in version Luna 1, travelers will be able to obtain harvestable materials from the Battle Pass, making it easier to build and level characters. The devs have also expanded the number of team lineups that can be saved, making it easier to have a team ready for any scenario. There's also a big change coming to the artifact system. After obtaining a 3 substat artifact, travelers will be able to check the hidden 4th substat, which should make it a lot easier to decide if an artifact has raising potential. In addition, travelers will now be able to directly consume 40 original resin to claim rewards, and the recipe for crafting condensed resin will now cost 60 original resin. All in all, this should give travelers a break from constant crystal fly farming.
Wow.
Of course, these are just some of the optimizations coming in version Luna 1. More information will be available across Genshin Impact's official accounts.
Next up, let's go over a few perks coming in the new version. First, when a new 5-star character or weapon receives a drop rate boost, the corresponding talent ascension material and weapon ascension material domains will be open every day for the next 7 days. Second, on top of the free standard 5-star, travelers will also receive materials to raise that character to level 60. And here's another major piece of news. In version Luna 1, once a 5-star character reaches their maximum constellation level, additional constellations obtained for them will be converted into Master List Stella Fortuna, which is an item that can be used to raise characters past the level cap to a maximum of level 100.
For example, if you have a standard 5-star at C6, you could select the same 5-star from the anniversary event, earn a Master List Stella Fortuna, and use it to strengthen a different character.
Plus, travelers who have obtained excess constellations in the past will receive an equal amount of Masterless Stella Fortuna in their in-game mailbox during the new version, which will give certain travelers the chance to start leveling their characters right away.
Last but not least, travelers can look forward to a new long-term event in version Luna 1 to temper thyself and travel far. The objective is to reach weekly progress goals by completing daily commissions and spending resin at least 5 days a week across a 12-week period, or the duration of 2 versions. Travelers can earn various rewards for their efforts, including sanctifying elixirs. But most importantly, this event will give travelers the chance to earn a constellation for certain designated 5-star characters. For more detailed information and event guidelines, keep an eye out for future announcements. Of course, we've just scratched the surface of all the exciting content coming in version Luna 1. There's so much more to discover in-game, so be sure to check it out when the update goes live. Thanks Thanks for sticking with us, travelers.
Thanks, everyone, and happy adventuring in Not Cry.
See you there.